Hey, welcome back to Bobb-z Callahan's Word of Advice. And in this video today, I wanted to talk about the topic of forgiveness. And the reason I wanted to talk about this topic is because I'm sure every single one of us have had to deal with somebody who we have either tried to forgive or somebody who has tried to forgive us. And if there's any one thing about forgiveness that we can probably all agree upon, it's not always an easy thing to accept somebody's forgiveness or forgive somebody else for a mistake that has been committed. And I think if I were to put my 50 cents towards the topic of forgiveness, let's say you're on the side of the fence where you are being forgiven because you made a mistake, but somebody is forgiving you. I think it's important to take somebody's forgiveness and just try to realize how bad the mistake is that you made, whatever it is, and try not to repeat it. It's not always an easy conversation to have with somebody. If someone's offering you forgiveness, though, then I would say try to work it out. Yeah, sometimes when a mistake is committed and someone's trying to offer forgiveness to you, it can be very hard, and harder in some cases, depending on the mistake that was committed. But every single one of us likes to be forgiven. And if somebody is offering forgiveness to you, definitely try to take it. And try to find a way which can prevent the mistake that's being forgiven to be prevented in the future. Now let's say you are on the other side of the fence and you are forgiving somebody. Again, it's not always the easiest conversation to have, but if you are going to forgive somebody, just remember, as I said, we all like to be forgiven for our mistakes, and all of us are going to mess up. It's not like we can live this life and do everything perfectly all the time. Whether you are about to forgive somebody or whether someone is trying to forgive you, when you have that conversation, try to work out the matter as calmly as you can and just try to work out an agreement and try to pass the peace as best as you can. It's not always easy to forgive somebody or be forgiven. When those mistakes come back to flood in our minds, whatever those mistakes or the mistake may be, sometimes it's hard to forget the effects of that mistake. But we all like to be forgiven. And a lot of us realize that a lot of people in this world have some very complicated lives, and all of us mess up. Whether you can see it or not, every single person on this planet is imperfect, and we are going to mess up in our daily lives. And there's going to come a time where either we are going to ask somebody's forgiveness or somebody's going to try to forgive us. In the end, though, just always try to work out those conversations about forgiveness as peacefully as you can. Always try to come to an agreement and always try to pass the peace, because it can make a huge difference when you pass the peace to somebody, whether you like them or not. And with that, this is pretty much what I have to say on the topic of forgiveness. I know this topic can be hard for a lot of us out there, but I do hope what I've talked about in this video will come in handy. Always try to pass the peace. Always try to remember to forgive or accept somebody's forgiveness. And come back for another word of advice video.